Sometimes the one who broke you is the only one who can put the pieces back together. On a night of cold wind and colder silence, a father stood one step away from despair. His daughter's cries were fading, his hope already gone until the very woman who had destroyed his life appeared before him, offering not excuses, but a chance at redemption. This is not just a story of survival. It is a story of grief, redemption, forgiveness, and the fragile miracles that bind broken souls together. One hungry child, one broken father, one grieving mother, and a night that would change them forever. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the ones fate chooses to heal us. After you watch till the end, share your city and tell us what this story made you feel deep inside. And if this touched your heart, subscribe for more stories that remind us we are never truly alone. The December wind cut sharply, a living razor across the empty streets, rattling broken lampposts and rustling through mountains of half-buried trash. Michael pulled his worn coat tighter, pushing Lily's stroller through the icy slush. The wheels wobbled, protesting with a soft squeal. But he kept moving because stopping meant thinking, and thinking meant drowning. He had once worn suits, carried coffee in one hand, plans in the other. He remembered mornings when he'd kiss his wife before work, a man with a future. But that was before the hospital bills bled them dry, before a single corporate decision ripped his job away. Now his wife was gone, his savings were gone, and all he had was Lily, his fragile, perfect little girl, whose cries were a daily demand. For life, not grief. Tonight, those cries had grown weak. He'd stretched her last bottle of formula until it was little more than cloudy water. But a baby couldn't live on almost. Which was why, with his last handful of coins, Michael walked into the corner store. Inside, the harsh fluorescent light made the world look crueler, harsher. He placed the formula canister on the counter like a holy relic, then emptied his pockets. Coins spilled onto the counter, worn thin nickels and discolored pennies. His hands shook as he counted them. $14.79, the cashier said, her expression shifting from bored to annoyed. Michael's throat tightened. His pile came up 8 cents short. Just 8. Shame burned hotter than desperation as Lily stirred in the stroller, her faint cry a soft echo in the silence. He bowed his head. Please, she hasn't eaten since morning. Please. The cashier shifted uneasily. Sir, I can't put it on my bill. The voice was smooth, steady, and carried an authority that silenced the room. Michael turned. His eyes narrowing, she stood behind him, tall, commanding. Wrapped in a wool coat that probably cost more than his month's rent, her heels clicked softly against the linoleum. Her hair framed a striking, polished face, a woman used to being obeyed. Yet her eyes weren't cold. They were fixed on Lily. The cashier slid a bill across the counter with steady hands. It's covered. Pride clawed at Michael, but Lily's soft whimper silenced every protest. He took the bag with a quiet, broken thank you. He turned to leave, but her voice stopped him. Why didn't you tell me? Michael froze. Tell you? I don't even know you. But then recognition dawned like a storm. The corporate town halls, the framed photographs in office corridors. Evelyn Hart, CEO of Hartwell Enterprises, the woman who had cut his entire department 6 months ago. You, he spat, the word soft but laced with venom. You're the reason I'm standing here counting pennies. Her breath hitched. Looked almost fragile. I signed the papers, yes. Oh. But I didn't see this. Her voice broke. I didn't see you. Michael's jaw clenched. Because you never looked. Silence. Then her gaze dropped to Lily, whose tiny hand twitched against the blanket. Evelyn's shoulders trembled. I had a daughter, she whispered. Leukemia. We fought for 2 years. Voice became a hoarse whisper. When she died, I buried myself. In work. In numbers. In profit margins. It was easier than facing the sound of her crying, the smell of hospital disinfectant. I convinced myself if I built an empire, it would mean something. But tonight I saw you, and I saw her, and I can't turn away. Michael's anger faltered. He looked at the powerful woman before him, her flawless facade shattered by grief. Her pain was as real and raw as his own. Finally, Evelyn whispered, "Come with me. Me make this right. We'll have a job. Support, childcare, a future." Michael stared at her, torn between rage and desperate hope. "Why now? Why me?" Her voice was fierce despite her tears. "Maybe saving you is the only way I can forgive myself for failing her." That night, Michael sat awake long after Lily had fallen asleep with a full belly. The snow outside painted his shabby apartment silver. He held the formula canister, turning it over and over as though it contained more than milk, he thought. About Evelyn's eyes, how the mask of power had slipped, revealing a woman just as broken as him. Could he trust her? Could he risk stepping back into the world that had chewed him up and spat him out? But then Lily stirred in her sleep, and Michael made his decision. For her, he would walk through fire. The next morning, he walked into the gleaming lobby of Hartwell Enterprises. His reflection in the mirrored walls was out of place, a man with a worn coat, tired eyes, and scuffed shoes in a world of polished marble and silent glass elevators. But Evelyn was waiting, no assistants or entourage around her. "Michael," she greeted softly. "Thank you for coming." She didn't give him charity. She gave him dignity. A stable job with a decent wage and flexible hours for Lily. Health. Coverage that made his chest ache with relief. She looked at him not as a case to fix, but as a man who deserved a second chance. Weeks passed. Michael worked quietly, proving himself. Each paycheck was a lifeline. Lily's cheeks grew rounder, her giggles louder. Evelyn began to visit often. At first, Michael thought it was out of guilt, but soon he realized it was something else. Came not for him, but for Lily. She would sit on the floor of his small apartment, letting Lily tug at her hair, a soft, sad smile on her face. One night, as they shared coffee, Evelyn finally broke her silence. "My daughter's name was Grace." She whispered she loved snow globes. "I bought her one from every city. After she died, I couldn't look at them. They just sit in boxes now." Her hands trembled. "I spent years pretending grief was something you could outwork, but watching you at that counter, it shattered me. Or maybe it freed me." Michael listened. And when her tears finally spilled, he reached across the table and said, "Lily saved me. Maybe she's saving you too." Christmas arrived with a quiet magic. Snow blanketed the city, muting the world's harsh edges. In Michael's apartment, a small tree glowed with lights Evelyn had brought. Michael sat cross-legged on the floor, Lily in his lap, her laughter a warm, bright sound. For the first time in months, he felt hope. A knock on the door startled him. Evelyn stood there, wrapped in her elegant coat, holding a small gift. Her smile was soft, uncertain. Michael opened the box. Inside was a snow globe. Tiny flakes swirled. Around a figurine of a father holding his child beneath a Christmas tree, his throat tightened. Evelyn's eyes glistened. "For Lily," she whispered. "At!" "And for Grace." Michael set the globe gently on the table and stepped aside. That Christmas morning, 3 broken souls, 1 weary father, 1 innocent child, and 1 grieving mother sat together. Its laughter mingled with tears, and for the first time in years, Evelyn felt a fragile peace. Michael realized then that the question Evelyn had asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" no longer haunted him, because she had seen him. Truly seen him. Sometimes being seen was all it took to change a life.